Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. So I am going to start in a couple of minutes. If you happen to be on live right now, I am just sharing this video over in my private Facebook community. I have around 400 excited and committed aspiring childcare business owners that are ready to learn and excited about their future owning their own childcare centers. Here I go. Okay, so I am on live. I can see that. If you do happen to be on live, I just heard my voice, so I think I'm good. Let me just share it in the group, and we are going to get started. Hold on a second. Here we are. Perfect. I shared everything. We close my phone. Okay, so I'll give you guys a few minutes. I'll start in 1 minute to make sure that I give you guys a chance to hop on. I hope you guys can hear me well. I have a brand new mic that I'm trying. A lot of exciting things are happening, and I am super grateful and inspired and all sorts of amazing things right now. So for those of you that are brand new to my page, welcome. I am Christina Rizakos. I'm a childcare business mentor and strategist. I am an early childhood educator by trade with over 21 years experience working with young kids. I am from Montreal, Canada. I myself am a busy mom of 4. I have 3 boys and a little queen. So I have a set of twins and then 2 older boys. I have owned my own childcare business since 2004. I have owned it since 2004 in my community where I live, and it has been the most amazing experience because I truly believe that the day I decided to venture off into entrepreneurship was the day that I really stepped into my purpose, the reason why I was brought here in this world. I truly believe that. And things just aligned from there, and I felt a sense of peace and flow, and that's exactly what I'd love to encourage you to do. So if you're watching this, it's because you're either, you already own a childcare business, and maybe there's some things that you want to make, to better. Maybe you want to tweak a few things, or you are working in a daycare that you most probably despise. I mean, I've been there. There's no shame in that. And you might hate the educational program, you might hate the people you work with, you might hate your boss, and that you crave freedom to run your own center, to hire the people, the team that you want to hire, and to really put out a program that you truly believe in and that you love. So I have been there. I have worked for a few childcare businesses in the past, straight out of college, and I can tell you that unfortunately, there are more educators that hate their jobs than there are that absolutely love it. And I mean, I don't know why that is. I wish I had, the answer to that. A lot of it has to do with management. A lot of it has to do with the wrong types of people going into ECE and working in the field where, we all know that when you work with young children, it takes a certain special person to be able to do so and to do it well. It's not a babysitting service. It's not something that you do just because, you have nothing else to do, or maybe you're just lost and you don't know what exactly to go into when you're in school. But it's a position, it's a career path that is obviously very fulfilling, but it's not for everyone. So we see a lot of, burnouts. We see a lot of, people hating their jobs. We see a lot of staff that just keeps quitting from their daycare jobs. A lot of daycare business owners that keep complaining about not finding quality people to work for them. And we also see a lot of daycares that are struggling to boost registrations. So this is what the topic is today. Tips to boost registrations. Once you've opened your center and you're working in it, and you've done everything that needs to be done in terms of, legally, everything is set up, you open your doors, and then you struggle to get your spaces filled. And it's happened to many people. This has happened to me as well. And it's a part of, running a business. And it's obviously extremely stressful, and you might get anxious or feel overwhelmed. You might get really discouraged. I remember when I first started my center in 2004, we had a permit for 34 children, and it took us a few years to actually fill up the entire daycare. So as business owners, I had a business partner with me, my younger sister. So I was 24, she was 22, and we struggled. We would do everything. We would open the center, close the center, clean it in the weekends, run the program, cook for the kids, teach in the classrooms. And I mean, we only had 9 kids between us, but it was a lot of work. And there were months where we thought that there was no way we could do this, or we thought that it was going to stay like that forever. And I started really implementing a few different things to finally get the word out that we were open for business, to allow people to know who we were and what our program, was all about and what we stood for. And slowly but surely, we filled up our center, and we have been pretty filled up, from that point on. As a business owner, it's extremely important to understand that these are things that will get better as you get better, running a business. Unless you've run businesses in the past, then you know a little bit how to handle sales and this and that. But if this is your very first business venture and you're just stepping into this brand new role, you're going to hit some roadblocks, and this is completely normal. But it's really important to understand that you're running a childcare business. You most probably have been dreaming about this for a long time, and this is your chance to do it. So do not get overwhelmed. Do not accept that things are going to remain as they are right now for you, because it's not the truth, right? As business owners, we need to have a mindset for success. We need to understand that we will do whatever it takes to keep our doors open and to keep families engaged and to hire quality people. And yes, you will make mistakes, which is normal, right? We all make mistakes. You try things that don't work, and guess what? You try again. That might not work, and guess what? You'll try something different, and that might work, right? So I want to discuss a few things you can do to boost sales in your childcare business. Now, before I dive in to the trainings, if you have not signed up for my newsletter, I invite you to go do so, because I will email a copy of this video tomorrow to all my news lists. So hop on over to www.profitabledaycare.com and just sign up for the newsletter, and I will email this training along with all the notes and everything that I spoke about today, including all the links and all the stuff, in your inbox. So with that being said, let me share a few things that I have learned throughout my journey as a business owner, and what has helped me through the difficult times, especially the times where we really thought that that was it and we were going to go bankrupt and close our doors. So before I dive in, if you are running a business and you find that you're struggling with registrations, I want you to make sure that you are real with your business. Like, you need to be honest with yourself. Did you do your market research before investing your time, your money, your energy into opening a business? Now, I know this might seem a little weird. You might say, well, of course I did, or there's daycares all over the place and I just wanted to open mine. But you need to understand that if you are running a business, let's say on a street in your community that already has 20 or 30 other daycare centers, then that's not the smartest move in terms of opening a business, because you are just setting yourself up for, I don't want to say failure, but you're setting yourself up for hard times, a lot of comparison, a lot of, if I don't find what I'm looking for here, I'll just go to the center that's 2 doors down. And it's really important to understand that before you open a business and before you open any type of business, you need to do some type of market research to make sure that you know exactly that there is a demand for what you're offering, for the services that you're offering, and that you're not wasting your time and your energy doing all this so that you can close your center in a few months down the line. So that's not something that anybody wants, right? So I just wanted to throw that out there just to make sure that if you are thinking of opening a center, make sure that you do your market research. I actually have a free training on that. I'll post it in the links. And again, I'll post it on my blog tomorrow, so you'll have the link to that as well. It's not as difficult as it sounds, but it's really important for you to do that as a business owner. Now, First strategy I want to discuss with you when it comes to boosting registrations is you need to get eyeballs on your business. And what that means is people need to know that you exist. Now, you might assume people know you exist. You might think, maybe there's a, I don't know, you have a nice window and you've hired someone to do some paintings on the window, maybe the door, maybe you have a sign up. But the fact still remains that people, when they're driving back and forth, parents, your customers, your ideal customers, they probably have a few kids in the back. They probably have some kind of a DVD, blasting in their minivan like I do. And you're not really looking at what's open next to you. You're really just focusing on getting yourself to where you need to be, right? So don't assume that everyone knows you're open for business. Don't assume that everyone that drove by your door saw that you're open and that you exist, because that's not the case. So you need to make sure that you are placing your business in front of the right eyeballs. And one of the best ways to do that is to get social. Unless you are operating, let's say, a childcare business on planet Mars, where there's there's no competition, you need to really start thinking about this strategy and really taking it seriously and working on it every single month. It's not something that you're going to do one time and think, okay, it didn't work. No, this has to be consistent. It has to be a part of your operating expenses. It has to be something that you work on every single month. So the first step that I would say into getting social and getting eyeballs on your business is having obviously a website, so a .com website that has been optimized. If you don't know how to optimize your website, then I encourage you to hire a virtual assistant to help you do this, because there's no point for you to have a website if no one can find it on Google, right? So there's a few keywords you could add. There's a local keywords you can add. So let's say, for example, if I'm running a center in Montreal, close to McGill University, anyone that will create my website, I would make it a point to tell them that you need to include a few target words in when you're optimizing the site, local places, streets, postal codes, just anything that can target my site. So when someone, let's say, is typing up, childcare or daycare center close to McGill University, my center would have already those keywords placed in the site so that my center would pop up in their search. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are targeting the right keywords in your local area, right? There's no point for you to start targeting Alaska when you're in like Vermont, right? So you need to make that clear. You need to make this a part of your website. And again, if you don't know how to do this, it does not cost a lot of money to hire a virtual assistant that can do this for you. So get your business in front of sites, optimize your website. When you have your website up and running, ask your existing customers, your friends, your family members to go on the website and leave you reviews, leave you testimonials, encourage them. You can do this on your Facebook page as well. There's a section people can actually leave a review. You should have obviously a Facebook page, an Instagram account if you decide. I don't think that's necessary, but you should also have your website up and running. Maybe add your website in local search engines, on Yelp, and anywhere people can find it when they're searching for childcare for their kids in your community. And encourage your customers to give reviews. It's so amazing to see how when you're looking for something online, let's say you want to buy a shirt and you see something online and you're not sure, it kind of looks weird. Maybe it's those shirts that look amazing when they're on the screen, but when you get them, they're like this small. But if there's reviews, maybe 10 people have given it a 4 on 5 or 5 on 5, and there's actual like little ratings underneath, or little like testimonials, like my kids went to this daycare, they loved it, they have a bilingual program, the cook is excellent, or whatever they want to say about your center. It does something to whoever's looking, because they're starting to trust you. They're starting to see that, like, okay, they're open for business. This is what parents are saying about their site. Let me go visit them. Let me go on their website. Let me put my child on their wait list. So really important to get your website inside the proper search engines like Yelp and your local search engines, but also to optimize it and to ask existing customers, new customers, your staff, just anyone that can give it an honest review. Ask them to do so. It's going to help you. When you create your Facebook page, your business page, you could always encourage your friends family members to share the page as well, right? Local friends, just so you can get some traction, so people can start seeing that, okay, you know, this they exist, they're out there, this is their page. I'll go like it, so they can start receiving your alerts or whatever you want to post on your page. What else? Yes, okay. So, and on your website as well, you should always have a section where you're collecting people's emails. So let's say someone lands on your website and they like what they see. You know, you have a nice website, it's really optimized, it's fast, it's quick to load, it's very appealing to the eyes. Your program is amazing, you have pictures in there, your menus are posted, whatever you want to have on your site. Well, okay, but I mean, people go on Facebook or on the internet, on Google, so many times throughout the day, right? How can you make sure that you have their information so that when you do have, you know, openings for registrations or whatever's going on in your center, you can actually send out an email, right? So have a pop-up form on your optimized website so you can start collecting people's information. You don't need phone numbers and stuff, but you could have just a pop-up form with, let's say, you know, first and last name and their email address, right? And you could send them alerts like newsletters every month, every 2 weeks, whatever feels good to you. But just have a way to keep that growing, like a list growing. Because if you are depending to grow your list on Facebook, you do not own Facebook. You don't own anything you post on Facebook. You don't own your friends list. You don't own anything. Facebook could go blank tomorrow and you'll have lost everything. So there's no point. The only reason, you know, you should have a Facebook business page is to place Facebook ads, which I'll get to in a little while. But other than that, I wouldn't focus on that page too much. So keep that in mind. Start a pop-up form where people can hop on, enter their information, and this way you have their info. You own it. They've raised their hand and they said, yes, add me to your list. So when you have registrations, when something's happening in your center, you have this information at hand, and with a touch of a button, you could reach 20, 30, 100, 1,000, how many, you know, I don't know how many subscribers you'll have in your center, but you can reach so many people at the same time. Really important, and I don't think that centers do this as often as they should. Okay, so what else can I say about getting social? Yes, networking with other business owners. Now, I don't want you to feel like you're going to be like some sleazy person trying to sell your daycare. That's not what I say. That's not what I mean when I talk about networking with other business owners, because obviously nobody wants to do that. But I'm talking more about partnerships and really getting out in your community and letting people know, you know, that you have places open, and that, you know, letting them know a little bit about you and your center and what you believe in, and really just forming those relationships, you know. So this can be anything. It could be, you could take part in, I don't know, a parent fair. You know, usually we have fairs where everybody, you can rent a little booth and pass out your cards, or it could be as easy as going to different places, different local businesses that already have your customer audience, like they already have your ideal customers. So you're going to target people that serve families with young children. So, you know, mommy and me yoga, clothing stores, toy stores, bookstores, family-friendly restaurants, just anyone in your community and your ideal, you know, audience, right? Like your targeted area where your center is located, and just pass out your business cards or leave a flyer or really talk to the owner and say, okay, what can we do here? I just started my business. I want to get the message out that I have, you know, spots open. This is what I believe in. What can we do? I have a great idea where I have reached out to speech therapists, yoga teachers, Zumba teachers, just anyone in my community that does things that I think would be fun for the kids in the daycare. So I actually have, let's say, Zumba coming in once a week to do dance with the kids. And then in return, she posts all about, you know, dancing and all the stuff that she did with our kids on her website and on her Facebook page, so that we are just getting exposure from each other's audience. And it's a great tool to have. It's a great strategy to try, especially if you're brand new, because these people, especially if they've been around for a long time, they already have your audience. They already have whoever you're looking for, right? So find someone that you connect with well. Find a service that you'd like to offer for your, you know, the kids in your care, and then just come up with a partnership. Maybe you could come up with a referral program, or maybe give, I don't know, with the gym that's like close to your center, maybe you could give the mommies there a special deal when they drop off their kids, let's say half a day, or I don't know, whatever, like half a day in the morning and the afternoon to go get a workout in. Just think about different ways you could really get out there. Don't expect everyone is going just to walk in the door and just sign up their kid. It does not work like that anymore. It does not work like that anymore. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that anymore. So you need to get out there. You need to get uncomfortable. You need to go introduce yourself and really just be proud of what you've built, and you know, be proud to share it with your community, because that's what it's about, right? What else? Yes, okay, associations. So offer priority places to charities or local businesses that are close to you, such as gyms, schools, office buildings, any churches in the area, anyone that is, you know, maybe there's adult education courses around the block, or just anything that you can think of that you know that there's parents that are, you know, going there every single day, and that these parents have young kids, that you can offer your services. So for example, my center is located in a building where there's offices upstairs. So there's accounting, there's an esthetician, there's all sorts of, you know, companies like that. And they're not huge companies, but they are, you know, there's a few companies out there that have rented spaces upstairs, and that I know the owners of the businesses have kids, or their customers have young kids. So, you know, I went upstairs in my building and I passed out my business card, and I told them that they would have priority. So when I do have spaces available, they know, they get alerted that there's, you know, there's 5 places or 2 places or whatever it is, and that they know that if they want the place, it's theirs. All they have to do is come down, sign up their kids, and the place is there. So try to think of different ways you can reach out to associations, to different businesses, to do this for yourself. This can only help your business. So another strategy I wanted to talk to you guys about is, so we talked about the website, we talked about networking with other professionals in your area. The third one is focusing on increasing the quality in your center. And I know this might mean that, you know, you might feel hurt, or you might think of this as, you know, my center is amazing, and, you know, we offer this and that, and you know, why wouldn't anyone want to bring their kid in my daycare? But you cannot think like this, because this is business, and you're in the people business, and you need to be open to changes and bettering what you offer, right? It's competitive. You have to be able to offer things that other centers won't think of offering. So a few things that I wanted to run by you. So a few things that you could add, let's say, to your website. How can you add value to your customers' lives? How can you do this, right? Obviously, you know, you offer a secure and safe space for their child to attend, you know, while the parents are working or whatever, yes. But what else can you do to say, for the parent to even think, wow, you know, like I made the best decision. They care about what they do. They're all about early childhood education. The staff is amazing, and they offer this, which is awesome. So one idea is to add a blog to your website. And before you start panicking and saying, I don't know what to write, or I don't like writing, or I don't have time to write, or whatever, you need to get out of that mindset, because again, you're offering value. You are trying to step up your game to encourage people to come to sign up their kids in your center. So you need to be smart, you need to be strategic, and you need to know that, okay, everyone has a website, that's fine, but what about adding a blog to your website? What about adding a blog where you can offer value every week, or every couple of weeks, or every month, where you can post about different local activities that are happening. Maybe you can review, family-friendly restaurants that you've been in, or maybe during Christmas you could ask one of your teachers to write, let's say, I don't know, what blog, the 10 best toys to offer a toddler this year, or whatever. Just anything that you can think of that relates to early childhood education and your parents. And really think about things that parents are looking for. So, for example, tips to help parents with anxiety separation, or maybe how to potty train a toddler, right? There are a lot of parents really get stressed out when it comes to potty training, you know, that they give up too early, or they just get stressed out about it. So what about having articles that deal with stuff like that? Again, it does not have to take up all your time. Maybe if you have staff members that love writing, you can actually delegate this task to them, and they would probably enjoy doing this. So don't think that this should take up like hours and hours of a week. It does not. It's something that you can delegate. It's something, again, that you can hire a virtual assistant to do, or write it yourself, or again, have your team, have someone in your team step up and say, okay, I'd love to write something on a certain topic because maybe they love, I don't know, meditation in kids or yoga in kids or whatever they enjoy doing. So think about different things you can add on your blog that you can broadcast to your customers, and you can send out in your email list to show them that it's not just a spot for your child. It's so much more, and this is what we have to offer. Another thing that you can do is ask your customers. I know it's scary, and when you get feedback that you don't want to, that's pretty negative, it kind of hits you right here, especially if you have been working in the center, opening up the center, and this is your baby. The last thing you want to hear is feedback from a customer where it kind of leaves you feeling blah, or or I'm not doing a good job. But don't let that stop you. Ask your customers, pass out a survey, go online on Google Forms. It's so simple and it's free. Pass out a survey and ask questions like, what do you think about our quality? What can we do to better our quality? Just get creative and just pass this around and see what they say. You'll be surprised. Maybe they'll point out, at something that you've never thought of before. Maybe you were doing something that you thought was amazing, but they might come back and tell you, no, stop doing that. Or, we want more of this or less of this. So ask your customers, they will tell you what they want, and then go from there. Different ways you could also increase your quality is by automating things. Now, this is really exciting because every single parent out there is on a phone or an iPad or a smartphone or whatever. So why not offer this to the parents where when they come in to register, things are pretty much automated, right? Like it's not the usual pen and paper kind of thing. Maybe investing in a software to make signups easier, communication between the staff and the parents. Nowadays, I think that hey Bree, nowadays I think that the good old-fashioned pen and paper is a thing of the past. I know when I started my business, we had a journal, and we still do. We have journals where the parents, they read what what they did throughout the day, how their day was, if they slept well, if they ate well, and all that, and then they can write a message, and that's how we communicate. But we also have other ways you could communicate by automating it, by making it more, more, I guess, 2019 or 2020, where you can invest in softwares, and there's so many exciting softwares out there. Like I actually took a training on different softwares that have come out now in the last few years, and my mind was blown. You can do anything on these softwares. You could bill your customers. Teachers have access to the parents of the kids in their class, so you can actually just send out videos and pictures of the kids and work that they did. Or maybe if you want to pass a note and say, I don't know, we need new change of clothing or whatever. Yes, Hi Mama is a good app. I agree. I loved it. Amazing. So there's so many amazing apps out there that exist that might not cost a lot of money. So look into that. A lot of parents enjoy, saving time, right? If you can save someone time, why not? Try to increase the quality and that way with automation. So this could go with payments, with communication, with billing, with attendance, with just about anything. Even your wait list, you could even automate your wait list on your website. So a lot of things to look into when it comes to automations, and it does increase the quality of your center. What else? Monthly calendars and newsletters. Again, I'm a big believer in newsletters. I think that it's a great way to stay in the mind of your customers. So whether they're your customers or whether they've just been on your site and they've signed up for your newsletter, you don't have to be sending out pictures of the kids in the newsletters, but you can send out stuff like, let's say you're having a fundraiser, or you're having open house, or you have registrations coming up, or maybe you're looking for an educator. Whatever is happening in your center, you can just, with a press of a button, just send out an email blast to your subscribers, and they will stay informed. And a monthly calendar is another fun thing that I like doing in my center. You can have that automated as well, or you can actually just print it out and the parents can take it. We encourage our parents to take it and to pin it up on their fridge at home, where most moms, pin up stuff. I have my kids, I have like 4 kids, so there's like 4 different calendars on the thing there. But fun and they know what's happening throughout the week. Maybe you could add in special events, someone's birthdays, when the payments are due. Maybe you have special theme days where, you know, let's say everybody wears red, or just the field trips or whatever is happening in your center. Again, fun things you can do that do not cost a lot of money, that once you do, let's say, the template for 1 month, all you have to do after that is just change the months after that, right? So it's not something that's very time consuming. So another oh yes, oh yeah, and I also wanted to mention offer the extra. So I know that sometimes, especially when you're starting up, funds are not there, they're not accessible to hire the extra. So like the yoga teacher, or science activities, or just little things that you want to do for the kids that you feel like you can't afford. But I mean, if you are hiring quality staff, they should be able to do these things in your classroom. So if you don't want to hire, let's say, a Zumba teacher or a yoga teacher, I'll talk about that in a little while. What you can do is have theme days in your class. So you can have, let's say, every Wednesday is yoga day. So every group does yoga, or maybe every Thursday is cooking activity. So then there's a cooking activity every Thursday. Friday could be science day, or just whatever you want to, how you want to make it fun in your center. There's ways to go around it where you don't have to hire a professional to do it, right? But if you do want to hire someone, you don't have to hire someone that charges an arm and a leg. There's so many people out there that are specialized in so many things and that would love to offer a special workshop in your daycare centers. For example, hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay. I have a cousin that works in a daycare, and she's been in the field for, I think, around 10 years, 15 years. She's amazing with kids. And on her spare time, she gives workshops in other centers, right? So not where she's working, in other centers in her area, where she goes in and she does, let's say, mommy and me painting with the baby group, or she does workshops on creative movement, right? So she has a few specialized courses that she does. Again, she does not have training for this. She has her ECE diploma and her year's experience, but as you may know, in a daycare, you have some educators that are strong in one field, like maybe they have amazing science, projects with kids, whereas other educators are amazing in circle time and songs and transitions and really just bringing a story alive or whatever. So encourage your staff, right? And this particular cousin that I had her come to my center when she was not working. I think she had a day off or whatever in her center, and she actually came in and she did a science activity with the kids that was amazing, and she did a creative movement with the toddler group, and it was awesome. And it did not cost an arm and a leg. She loved it, and so did the kids. So this is, again, something else that you can tell your customers, that you have, people coming in to do special activities, whatever they want, whatever they are, and where you can find these people. Facebook, right? Like you could just post an ad on Facebook, or just ask around in mommy groups, and see where that takes you. There's so many people out there that have amazing skills, that want to make a little bit of extra money, but don't necessarily want to commit to a full-time job. So why not find someone that is amazing at showing kids how to bake the perfect chocolate chip cookie, or making healthy smoothies with them once a month or whatever, or reading an excellent story with them, and invite them to come in. So you can offer whatever you want to pay, 30 minutes, for an hour, whatever it is for you, but it does not have to cost you an arm and a leg. You don't have to go find, the yoga guru that has like 30, 40 years experience that's going to charge you an arm and a leg, when you have qualified educators working in other centers that are most probably looking for extra ways to make money. Have them come in and do this with your kids. Again, you could ask around, you can network, find people that want to do this. You can place some ads in your local paper and your community centers, even in the colleges around your community. You'll be surprised. You would be surprised. Okay, so, and the last strategy is a big one, and this is the one that I think a lot of people struggle with, and I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of centers struggle with registrations, is having the right team. Having the right team working with the kids, working for you, is hard. It's hard. This is a big topic. Let me get some water, because this is a big topic. Hiring the right team is, I think, everything. As a business owner, it's your biggest asset. Your team and the people that you trust and you hire to work with the kids in your center, I believe can make or break your business. You have to have clear hiring policies, obviously screening them, and interviews and all that stuff. And whatever hiring policy you have, you should have things in place where you know that you are attracting the right type of people, but that you are repelling those that don't get your team vibe, right? So there's a lot of things that goes into hiring excellent team. I actually have a freebie how you can hire an excellent team that is just amazing. I'll post that in the link underneath this video too, and you can just download that. It's just, there's a few things you can do to make sure that you're hiring the right people. But how can your team affect your registrations? Well, how many times have you experienced a daycare where the staff is anything but quality, and you hear that kids are just leaving, or parents are complaining, or they're giving your daycare a bad rap within your community? I mean, I hear about this all the time, and we need to stop that before it gets to that point. So number one is obviously being confident as a business owner that you're making the right decision, because only because you hired someone does not mean that you hired them, you went through all the process. You're still guessing. You're guessing if they're going to be good. Once they start working and you see that something's not right, and as soon as you dismiss them, you fire them, that's when you've made the decision, right? So, but when you hire them, you're just guessing. You're guessing. You're hoping that it's going to work, and you're just taking a really a big guess towards, are they going to work? Are they not going to work? But I have a lot of stories when it comes to hiring the wrong staff, but I don't want to get into that right now. Your team, hiring high energy and high quality employees that fit your team vibe is so important. And to do that, you need to be clear on what you believe in, right? What your educational program is. You need to be clear on so many things. You need to be clear on your vision, what you believe in, what your values are. You need to be clear on your interventions, and you need to stand your ground when it comes to these things. There's no reason to create all these policies, and then when it comes to hiring, you just hire someone and you're like, okay, she doesn't really believe in this, or he doesn't really believe in that, but we'll just give them a try. That's not good. It never works. It never works. So amazing staff, high energy staff, people that love being in your team, people that understand your program and believe in it, and people that like you, right? You want someone that when you walk in the center, they don't look like, oh my God, there she is again, but they're genuinely happy to be in your presence and within your other team and the kids and the parents. And you need to find high energy people like this. And it's hard. It's not easy. I don't want to make it sound like it's easy, because it's not. It took my sister and I a long time before we actually got clear on what kind of people we wanted to work for us. Because when you're starting out, you just don't know. You just don't know. You don't have policies in place. You don't have a hiring policy in place, that's for sure. At least we didn't. And we just hired people, like we hired the low-hanging fruit, because at the time that's all we could afford. That's what we thought we had to do. And it turned out that it was not the best decision. And it gave us so much headaches and stressors, and you don't want that. So when you're increasing your, the quality of your center, and, you feel like your team is not really stepping up to the plate, they're not really interacting well with the kids or with the parents, you need to put a stop to that. So go check out the link I'll post underneath this video, all about how you can hire amazing kick-ass staff. You should start thinking about your curriculum. So if you're losing a lot of customers, or if it's hard for your center to fill its spots up, what does your curriculum look like? And be really honest with yourself. Do you find that the educators are doing the same thing every fall, every Christmas, every Easter, it's like, how many times do we have to see the same arts and crafts, things that they do in the, I know I get tired of that. I don't want any of that. How many times do we need to see the same types of arts and crafts, the same this, the same? It's like, no, there's so much opportunity out there. There's so many ideas out there, especially with the internet. And there's no reason for your curriculum to suck. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. So ask yourself if your educational program is stimulating. Is it fun? Are the kids going home excited, telling their parents, oh, we learned about this, or we did this, or we did that? Or is it the same old, 20 sons that look exactly the same, where the eyes are stuck exactly the same spot, where, they're cut out by the educator, not the teachers didn't, the kids didn't even touch the scissors. It's just, basically a dot of glue, put the eyes here and that's it. No, we don't want centers like that. At least I don't believe in art like that. So be prepared to look into your curriculum to make sure that you're offering quality and it's not just the same old boring stuff that daycares from like 30 years ago are have been doing forever. So make sure you're doing that. Fun things, like stimulating things, Zumba, yoga, dancing, open-ended art activities, staff that's just excited, and the staff that wants to move, that has music in the background, and staff that gives off a vibe where a parent, let's say, walks in your center, you feel as though the parent feels comfortable with the person working with their kid, but you feel as though the parent walks in and they're like, oh, I made the best decision for my kid. This is the best daycare on the entire universe, right? So and one of the other things I wanted to point out is be likable yourself as a business owner. Get to know your customers. So when they drop off their kids in the morning, don't hide in your office and close the door. Leave the door open. Go out in the hallway, say good morning, how's it going, how was everyone's night yesterday, chit chat a little bit. Again, you don't have to tell people your life story, but it's good to have that connection so they don't feel as though the office is always closed and that you're cold or that you're never there. Or parents like to know that they could come in and say hi to you just because. So be likable, because people tend to bring their kids to centers where they know and they trust and they like the owner, right? So be one of these people. What else did I want to share with you today? Again, I know I've said a lot. I'm going to post all of this underneath the blog post that I will email out tomorrow. Make sure you're on my list so you can receive this. And what else did I want to say? Yes, okay. So as a business owner, this took me a long time to understand, but as a business owner, you need to have an attitude of servitude. You need to show up and think of ways you can serve the customers and the clients and your staff. You cannot go into this thinking that, you have a center and people are just going to flock to you just because, and that's how it's going to be. And no, you need to be upping your game. You need to be learning. You need to be growing. You need to be working on your mindset and encouraging your staff to do the same. No one wants to walk in a center to feel as though they're a burden, or that the staff looks miserable, or tired or overwhelmed, or they just don't want to be there, right? How many times have you been somewhere in a store, let's say, where you're paying for your coffee and the person serving you is like, oh, it's only 5 o'clock. Oh my God, I have 5 or more hours left, and then I could check off. I get to leave in 5 hours. Oh my God, how am I gonna, how many times this happens to me a lot, and it ruins your experience, whether you're at a Starbucks or wherever. It's happened to me many times, and you just want to tell the people, like, why are you even here? Why did you even show up if you just hate what you're doing, right? So anyways, always keep that in mind. Keep growing, keep learning, take yourself lightly, take your job seriously. That's one of the things that I always keep in mind. You're working with kids, it's fun, it's exciting, and it's very dynamic, right? It keeps changing all the time, so you need to do the same when it comes to your business. So if you want a copy of the marketing strategies that I mentioned before, I will post everything underneath this video. Let me know what you thought of the training. If there's another training that you'd like to, for me to do, please either message me or comment underneath. Oh, my hair. Comment underneath, and I would be more than happy to create it. So that's it for me. I will see you guys again next week. And again, go on my website, subscribe to my list, and I will send you trainings, free booklets, and anything that I come up with, you'll be alerted if you are on my list. Bye, guys.